Good afternoon, good-looking people, and you're good-looking because you're always looking, and of course, you are finding the good in everybody and in everything. It's Erev Shabbos, it's Erev Yontif, so I want to get the Hayom Yom out for the 15th of Tishrei, which will be tomorrow, which is on Shabbos. Being that there are so many minhagim in the Hayom Yom related to Sukkot, let's get it out today. All right, just very important. There's a note here with regards to all the minhagim and the traditions. First of all, we constantly say that the reason why the Rebbe put all these minhagim here is to emphasize what is the Chabad minhagim tradition versus others. Also, in the latter years, the previous Rebbe spent a lot of time recording a lot of these traditions and minhagim that were really kept private for many, many years. And it's important to note that the traditions are important, and we are to practice those that are related to us, but also to be careful that sometimes when we're adding a minhag or a tradition, that doesn't become an embellishment or that becomes the nucleus of the mitzvah. It's something that we add as a hiddur or something else, but we still have the mitzvah itself, and not to get lost in the extra traditions. Okay, for the Hayom Yom of the 15th of Tishrei, when handing someone the four species, which is when you're holding the lulav and esrog with the aravas and the hadassim, which is the four species, so that he can recite the blessing over them, one should say explicitly that this is a gift on a condition that it be returned. This practice applies especially on the first day, and it is of the benefit to both the donor and the recipient. So the halacha is as follows. Being that we do mitzvahim, and we want to share the mitzvah of lulav and esrog with all the people out there that need that. When you give that lulav and esrog to that person, you want to give it to them on a condition and say, I'm giving this on a condition that it's a gift to you. So now they'll have full ownership of the four items of the lulav and esrog and all together. And then on a condition that they give it back to you. And the idea is specifically on the first day, even though it's Shabbos tomorrow, but they'll apply to the second day, that really a person needs to have full ownership of these items in order to be yoitza, completing the mitzvah of lulav and esrog and saying the bracha. So that is the reason why the emphasis on giving it as a condition to get it back. Make sure you say it. Okay, next. My revered father, the Rebbe Rashab, directed that one should begin reciting the blessing Shechianu while holding the lulav in one hand and the esrog in the other hand. So there are two brachas that we say when we shake the lulav and esrog. One is al natilas lulav, and then there's the other, which is Shechianu. And what's being said is that when we're reciting the Shechianu, we keep the lulav and the esrog separate. Only after the Shechianu do we put it together. Why? Because once you put them together, it's as if you completed the bracha. Being that we still have work to do and still to shake and do what we need to do with the whole four items, therefore the minhag was not to put the lulav and esrog together until after the completion of the shechianu and hold them separate. Continuing. When reciting the Hashanas, we say the verses and phrases that appear in the siddur after each day's reading, such as Ki Amarti, only on Hoshana Rabbah. So when you get to Shul, you'll have Hashanas, your rabbi will announce where you can start to go around the bima, and you'll see those details in Shul. The last one, even during the day, the blessing Leishev Basukah is recited after Kiddush and not after Hamotzi. So very important, when we say Kiddush in the Sukkah, that's right after Kiddush is when we say Leishev Basukah, not after Hamotzi. The customs that are observed during the priestly blessing, as detailed on the second day of Shavuos, have come down to us by the virtue of the fact that the Rebbe used his grandson, the Tzemach Tzedek, in his youth before he was married, under his talus during the priestly blessing. So I'm going to put into the description also the Hayom Yom link from the second day of Shavuos, and we are to observe the same concept of what we do of going under the talus and the customs that are mentioned on the second day of Shavuos. Ideally, of which direction to face at different times the Kohanim are saying things. One of the reasons why this is being brought up today as well is because the talis is like a sukkah. Just like a sukkah, you go inside and it surrounds you. Same thing with a talis. That once you go into the talis, it also surrounds you. And a very important point is, from a very early age, the Tzemach Tzedek was under the talis of the Alter Rebbe. And when he's quoting and giving us the minhagim of the Alter Rebbe, he was recording it very early in his age, that already the Alter Rebbe was teaching the Tzemach Tzedek when he was a child by bringing him under the talis and showing him all the different minhagim of the Kohen's blessing, or what we call duchran. Have a good Yontif, have a good Shabbos, have a great Sukkot. All the best.